Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today is Monday, September 9th, 2024. Coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. We have lost a giant, James Earl Jones. That stunning, booming voice, of course, actor. He's played in all sorts of movies and television shows. Claudine, Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars, Jack Johnson, you name it. He's now an ancestor. He passed away at the age of 93. Republican Vice Presidential candidate Senator JD Vance is spreading lies about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. The racist MAGA folks continue their racist agenda. Was Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins wide receiver, stopped because he was black? He was also punched and handcuffed before Sunday's season opening game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. One cop is on administrative leave. We'll show you a variety of the videos from bystanders. And, of course, the police union defends the cops. The Congressional Black Caucus releases the first corporate accountability report on DEI. CBC Chair Steven Horsford will join us to discuss it. In anticipation of tomorrow night's presidential debate, black education advocates are demanding that the two candidates, Donald Trump, Vice President Kamala Harris, and ABC News, focus on the crisis in black student achievement. Dr. Steve Perry will join us on today's show. Plus, the federal trial of the 3 Tennessee officers accused of beating Tyre Nichols began today, and the Justice Department indicts a white terrorist group who plotted to kill government officials. I told y'all there were hate crimes laws that targeted not just Asians. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered. On the Black Star Network, let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the miss, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, rolling with Roland now. He's funky, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's Roland Martin now.
James Earl Jones, the acclaimed actor and voice of Darth Vader, CNN, star of numerous movies and TV shows, has passed away. Jones' agent Barry McPherson confirmed Jones's death and said the 93-year-old died this morning at his home in New York State. The cause was not immediately apparent. The pioneer Jones, who worked into his 80s and who retired from public life about a year ago, won 2 Emmys, a Golden Globe, 2 Tony Awards, a Grammy, a National Medal of Arts, and the Kennedy Center Honors. The only thing he did not win was an Oscar. But he was given an honorary Oscar and a special Tony for Lifetime Achievement, which means that, of course, he's an EGOT. Folks, in 2022, a Broadway theater was renamed in his honor. James Earl Jones is being remembered by so many people, so many actors and folks all over Hollywood. A little bit earlier, I was looking at some tweets that were posted by actor Wendell Pierce, who, of course, stars in stage, film, as well as the big screen. He posted a couple of things, and he said, "This man was the living embodiment of artistry, integrity, creativity, and dignity. James Earl Jones is the sole reason I became an actor. He stirred a vocation in me that gave voice to my unsung heart songs. By example, he led me on the exploration of my own personal humanity and the study of human behavior in others and the intangible, ever-present soul. He was once in a generation talent that has left an enormous legacy in American culture." You think about all of the different films and TV shows that he starred in. It is an absolute long list. Of course, we can go back to him, of course, playing Jack Johnson, of course, the first black heavyweight boxing champion. We can think about him with, again, Richard Pryor, as well as Billy D. Williams in the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars. We think about Clear and Present Danger, those movies, thinking about Coming to America. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. He was in comedies. He was in dramas. We think about Claudine. I mean, again, you name it, he can do it. Field of Dreams. And the amazing thing, if we think about it, James Earl Jones, of course, overcame a serious stutter. And, of course, the younger generation will remember him as the voice of Mustafa in The Lion King. And so you're talking about just an extraordinary figure who hailed from Mississippi, born in 1931, who overcame a whole lot to become one of the most admired actors of our time. And so we certainly pay tribute to James Earl Jones. A statement from his agent said he passed this morning surrounded by his loved ones. He was a great man. And so that was the statement. This is in USA Today, and that was his representative, Barry McPherson. And this was a quote here. He did an interview in 2010. He said he was talking about all the things he was famous in. He said, "I've done a King Lear too. Do the kids know that? No, they have the Darth Vader poster to sign, but it's okay. When you appear before an audience, you learn to accept whatever they give you. Hopefully they give you their ears," as Anthony said. On Wednesday, folks, we will pay tribute to James Earl Jones the way we only can do, by dedicating an hour to him. Of course, we had a lot of interviews already set up for today. Tomorrow night, we have our, of course, debate coverage. The 6-hour debate coverage we'll be doing tomorrow right here on the Black Star Network. And so we wanted to make sure that we didn't give short shrift to James Earl Jones. And so we will pay him his proper tribute on this show on Wednesday. As I said, tomorrow, we have our debate coverage. It will be our live show. In addition, we will be partnering with the Congressional Black Caucus. They'll be holding their watch party here with us. More than 20 members will be joining us, including Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, Congressman Steven Horsford, the chair, as well as Congressman Jim Clyburn and others. And so if y'all want the blackest, boldest, seasoned chicken coverage, y'all come here And so, again, we'll pay tribute to James Earl Jones on Wednesday. Tomorrow, our coverage begins at 7 p.m. We will have pre-coverage. We will carry the ABC presidential debate and have our post-coverage as well. And so, again, we want to give proper tribute to James Earl Jones. That will take place on Wednesday. As I said, James Earl Jones, dead at the age of 93. All right, folks, let's talk about a huge story that took place on yesterday involving Miami Dolphins five-time All-Pro wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Now, yesterday was the beginning of, NFL season began on Thursday, but for most teams it was yesterday. Miami Dolphins were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then reports came out before the game that Hill was arrested by Miami-Dade police officers. Well, a number of people on social media begin to post these videos. Do me a favor, guys. Go back to this video here, because I want you to hear what these officers are saying to Tyreek Hill. So let's start this video over, and let's play the video with audio. So let's play them all back to back, so we can hear all of them. Go right ahead.
Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We tell you do nothing to do. You understand? How would you want for what we do? You're a little fucking confused. Too late. We tell you do nothing to do. You understand? How would you want for what we do? You're a little fucking confused. Too late.
What the fuck?
Tyreek Hill.
Dylan, no. I'm trying to get on video.
They put him in handcuffs. Oh, fuck.
No, that's actually Tyreek.
When I step up on the scene,
Oh, shit, they got fucking Reek.
I was insulin. They were very disciplined.
Oh, they arrested Reek.
Money busting out my jeans. I got
No.
Pull up in a demon on guard.
They arrested
Looking like I
Reek.
still do
Oh,
fraud.
that's crazy.
Flying private
Oh, that's
jet, took
fucking
a
Calais
ride.
Campbell right there.
It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud.
Yo,
Flying private jet.
bro.
Tyreek on power, man.
It's Tyreek Hill. What? Bro, what the hell is going on? This will be all over ESPN.
I know, right?
Right now, rest me.
What's up, man?
I'm speeding too. They bought some speed. Cam. They know what a 720 this is. Fast, man. Hey, they got my phone too. Oh, no, I got
Tyreek on power.
As I said, the investigation continues. Now, passerbys were recording that particular video there. Miami-Dade Police Department Director Stephanie Daniels told a Miami Herald reporter in a brief interview that body camera footage from the roadside detention, which has not been publicly released yet, led to temporarily transferring one of the officers to administrative duties. She said Monday morning the county's police department, now first of all, on Monday, the county's police department declined to release the body cam footage, citing the ongoing investigation into the incident. Now, after Sunday's game, Hill said this about being arrested.
Right now, I'm still trying to put it all together, so I'm not going to give you a version that I still don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say, I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? Like, worst case scenario, you know? Because it's crazy. Like, I want to be a cop one day. I got a state trooper hat, all that, you know, so I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But obviously, you know, everybody has bad apples in every situation, you know, so I want to be able to, you know, use this platform, you know, to figure out a way to, like, flip this and, you know, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, you know, so that way we can team together and, you know, do something positive for the community, because that's what it's all about, bro. It wasn't disrespectful, you know, because my mom didn't raise me that way, didn't cuss, didn't do none of that. So, like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, man. I'm just glad that my teammates were there to, like, support me in that situation, because I felt alone, you know, and when they showed up, it made me realize that we got a good team this year, dog. For them to, like, put their life on the line. You know what I'm saying? So it was amazing to see, man.
All right, folks. Now, of course, as you expect, the police union, the South Florida Police Benevolent Association, issued their statement. No shot they're defending the cops. Before the Dolphins game yesterday, an incident occurred when Tyreek Hill was placed in handcuffs before being released. First, to be clear, at no time was he ever under arrest. He was briefly detained for officer safety after driving in a manner in which he was putting himself and others in great risk of danger. Upon being stopped, Mr. Hill was not immediately cooperative with officers on scene who, pursuant to policy and for their immediate safety, placed Mr. Hill in handcuffs. Mr. Hill, still uncooperative, refused to sit on the ground and was therefore redirected to the ground. Once the situation was sorted out within a few minutes, Mr. Hill was issued 2 traffic citations and was free to leave. We would like to stress to the community to use this as an opportunity to remember that it is always best to obey lawful police commands first and complain later. We have worked hard across all communities to bridge the gap between what people believe law enforcement should and can do, and will continue to do so in this case while we wait for the investigation to run its course. Based on what we know, we stand with the actions of our officers but look forward to further open communication moving forward. While we are confident in the actions that led to the stop of Mr. Hill, as with any investigation, we will wait for all of the facts to come out, along with any explanation Mr. Hill may have for his actions that initiated this unfortunate incident. This is signed by Stedman Stahl, president of the organization. Here's the problem with this statement, y'all. First and foremost, while we are confident in the actions that led to the stop of Mr. Hill, as with any investigation, we will wait for all of the facts to come out. So why are you releasing a statement laying out what actually happened? No, this is what we call police trying to get ahead of the narrative and trying to establish, as they always do, what their narrative is. Every time there's a police beating, a police shooting, they want to establish their narrative in the minds of the public first. The problem is all that video. Here's the other deal, folks. We know this game. If the body cam footage shows that Tyreek Hill was cussing out the officers, was being uncooperative, and all of that, because remember, he said he didn't cuss, that video would already be released. We all know it. Now, I want to do this here. So the union says he was briefly detained for officer safety after driving in a manner in which he was putting himself and others in great risk of danger. Okay. Let's play the video, turn the audio all the way up of the cops telling him to roll down the window and get out of the car. Listen closely.
Keep your window down. Keep your window down, I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out.
Now, okay, I want y'all to re-rack it. He first said, put your window down. He cracks the window. That's all the officer needed for him to be able to say, I need to see your driver's license and registration. The law does not say you have to roll the window all the way down. It says roll your window down. He rolled the window down. The officer could have said, I need to see your driver's license, your registration, and your insurance. He didn't do that. Watch what he did. Press play.
Keep your window down. Keep your window down, I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
Stop right there. Put your window down, or I'm going to take you out of the car. He put his window down. He then goes, matter of fact, get out of the car. Why? Why? Why did Tyreek Hill have to get out of the car? He rolled his window down. In fact, play it again. Look how fast he rolled the window down. Press play.
Keep the window down.
Stop. Put your window down. Immediately, window goes down. Why does he pull out of the car? Why? So, are you trying to tell me that in that brief exchange, put your window down, did Tyreek cuss at him? We don't hear Tyreek at all on the video. He complies with the officer's instructions. Roll the video.
I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now.
All right, stop. So he tells him 3 or 4 times, get out of the car right now. He doesn't have to get out of the car. See, here's the problem, y'all. Cops know when given a lawful command, you have to obey. See, that's where they always get people. But remember, Tyreek Hill, the video's right there. He obeyed. Put your window down. Immediately comes down. No. Put your window down. No. Get out of the car. I'm sorry. You gave me 2 commands. The first command was put the window down. Now the second command, now get out of the car? Why am I getting out of the car? It's a traffic citation. Was he going too fast? Okay. I need to see your driver's license, registration, insurance. I'm going to write the ticket. Now, y'all pull the video up where Tyreek was kicked by the cop. Y'all have that? All right, find the video. I know I got it on my phone, so hold on one second. No, I got it. Y'all got the video? Okay, all right, okay, fine. That's what I said. Pull it. So y'all, there was one of the videos, and I guarantee you that the cop that got suspended, I guarantee you that cop, he was the one who kicked Tyreek. Let's see. Is this it here? That's the video right there. Play it.
Campbell right there.
No, replay it. Re-rack it. Re-rack it. Go to the beginning, re-rack it. No. Go to the next video. Play that video right.
No, it's actually Tyreek. They arrested Reed. That's crazy. Oh, that's fucking Calais Campbell right there. It's the Z shit. Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Yo. Flying private jet. Bro.
All right, y'all. So it's a real quick video when Tyreek Hill was kicked. Okay. So go to my iPad. All right. So I want y'all to watch this. Okay. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this cop on the far right. All of a sudden, this cop, now mind you, you see 1, 2, 3, 4. There are at least 4 or 5 officers surrounding Tyreek Hill. Now, you see this here? Watch this guy right here. He's got his hand, his left hand, on the right shoulder of one of the cops. All of a sudden, he now jumps up. You're going to see, you can't see it fully, but you see he's raising his leg up. Hold up. You see Tyreek Hill right there in the middle where the glass is. He turns his head to face the guy. He sees him coming, and the cop literally stomps on Tyreek Hill, kicks him, and you see Tyrese yell in pain, and he goes down to the ground. All right, I'm going to play this in real time. Watch this.
They arrested Reed. That's crazy. Oh, that's fucking crazy.
All right, I'm going to roll this back again so y'all can actually see what takes place in this. See, this is why the police union statement is trash. And this is why the police union is doing all they can to try to go ahead and get their narrative out there, to affect the public. Watch this.
They arrested Reed. That's crazy. Oh, that's fucking Clarence Campbell right there.
All right, you literally see the cop. The situation is under control. Under control. Go back to the original video, because I want to see how many Miami-Dade cops were surrounding Tyreek Hill. Go ahead. Pull up y'all original video in the control room. All right, so I see 1, 2, 3. I see at least 3 cops right here. Okay, he's walking over to the side, and then another video. So you probably got at least 4 or 5 cops who are on the scene. That's the video of him kicking him.
Yo, bro. Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We tell you, do nothing to do. You understand? What we do, what we do. You're a little fucking confused.
Now, after the game, Tyreek Hill said that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna leave it to, other folks. But let me pull up here. This is the Miami Herald story from today regarding where his lawyers say it was overzealous cops that actually caused this problem. Now, again, keep in mind, and I'm telling y'all, we do this all the time. If that video showed that Tyreek Hill was yelling, cussing, was belligerent, and acting a fool, that video would have been out yesterday afternoon after the game. They would have dropped that video. There's no way you can convince me that all of a sudden, oh no, we have an investigation, and so therefore we can't release the video yet because we still have to look at it. Nah, we know that game. Okay, we know the game being played, and that's what's going on here. And see, perfect example, on ESPN's website, headline, police union, Hill was uncooperative during stop. Do y'all see what they're trying to do? They are trying to establish the narrative that this black man was uncooperative. Now, y'all need to keep in mind, you have, and it wasn't just him. The cops also, because a number of you got to remember, he was 1 block from the stadium, y'all. And the cops, other players were coming to the stadium. Callis Campbell, he was also detained when he stopped on the scene to offer Hill support. He didn't get a citation. That's what's going on. So this statement right here, let me just pull up the ESPN. Give me 1 second. I want to pull up their story. I want to show you what and see, this is where, again, this right here, go to my iPad. This is ESPN right here. ESPN right here, their headline, police union, Tyreek Hill was uncooperative in the traffic stop. Okay, well, if you go down to the story, you'll see here, meanwhile, Hill's attorney, Julius Collins, said in the statement later Monday night, Mr. Hill's legal team is exploring all legal remedies that may be available to Mr. Hill, as we believe that the officer's actions on September 8th, 2024 were excessive. Now, Stephanie Daniels, she initiated, quote, an immediate review of all details surrounding the incident. She announced that one of the officers involved was placed on administrative duties while the investigation is conducted. She said, quote, while we wait for the investigation to run its course, based on what we know, we stand with the actions of our officers, but look forward to further open communication moving forward. Now, I'm sorry, this is the police union. And see, now, here's what's interesting. The same cop right here in the story, during an appearance Monday on the Andy Slater show, Stahl said the union has not been able to view body camera footage and officers didn't know who they had pulled over Sunday morning. Stahl said Hill's driving pattern caught officers' attention. He was allegedly driving at a high speed through a congested area, and Hill did not want to comply when asked to roll down the window. Y'all want to see what they're doing? If Mr. Hill would have just complied, it would have just sped the process up. He chose not to. He chose to escalate the situation and turn into something bigger than the Dolphins win itself. Now, this is a statement from Tyreek's lawyer. To be clear, the traffic stop of Mr. Hill by officers of the Miami-Dade Police Department originated as a traffic infraction, but was then escalated after Mr. Hill provided officers his driver's license and then rolled his window back up. Collins said in the statement, one of the officers then knocked on Mr. Hill's driver's side window and advised Mr. Hill to keep his window rolled down, otherwise he was going to get him out of the car. Mr. Hill had his window rolled down, and that officer then demanded Mr. Hill out of the vehicle even after Mr. Hill complied with that officer's request to keep his window down. Immediately after, another officer then aggressively approached Mr. Hill's vehicle and stated something to the effect that if we have to break the effing window, we will. Mr. Hill rolled down his window each time he was requested to do so by the requesting officer. Bringing my panel right now to talk about this here. And the reason that the video of the passerby, folks, is so important because we're seeing it in real time. And while the cops are sitting here going, oh, we can't release the video, we already saw what happened. Dr. Julian Malveaux, economist, president, author of Bennett College, author out of D.C. Dr. Amakongo, being a senior professorial lecturer, School of International Service, American University out of D.C. Joy Chaney, founder of Joy Strategies out of D.C. Amakongo, I'm going to start with you. This is all BS, and you know it's trash. I mean, at the end of the day, he complied. The officer, we know what happened. The officer got pissed because he didn't roll his window all the way down. He cracked his window. You don't have to roll your window all the way down. You can crack your window. Yes, officer. Yes, officer. No. What he did was, he heard it. Roll your window down. No, roll your window down. No. Baby, get out of the car. The police escalated this situation.
100%. And the other part that kept playing in that video, the first part you were playing, when he was already on the ground, what did the guy keep saying? When I tell you to do something, you do it. When I tell you to do something, when I give you an order, you follow it.
There you go.
This was so dehumanizing and disrespectful. And it's always a reminder that no matter how far we get, they always feel like they have the authority to pull us down and kind of put us in our place. Remember Thabo Sefolosha, the NBA, the New York Knicks player who had his leg broken by cops in 2015, got a $4 million settlement 6 years later. LeBron James, when people will spray the N-word on his fence.
Hey, hold on one second. Carol, I need y'all to check. According to the Miami Herald, the police department released 105 minutes of body camera footage Monday evening. Track it down. Omakongo, go ahead.
And so you see, when you have somebody who's complying, like you said, Roland, all you got to do is roll down that mirror just enough to get that license out. They wanted to dehumanize him, and it doesn't matter what he was doing. If he's complying with your orders after this man is pulled over, I mean, look, across the country, they got laws saying you don't even pursue people in high-speed chases anymore. He wasn't running away. And as it relates to the police officers and the police unions, this is why we have to keep our eyes on this. Because, Roland, when I was looking at the reports yesterday, ESPN, no one mentioned anything about him being struck. Nobody talked about that. They just talked about him being detained. They didn't talk about any of the violence that he experienced in any way, shape, or form. They could have broke his leg just like I talked about with Thabo. And so these police unions, who Trump just spoke to last week also, right, we have to keep an eye on this because they are going to continue to push their narrative. Like you said, they already got it out there, and we can't let this go. I don't know what Tyreek is going to do. I appreciate the fact that he wants to spread positivity and the like, but his civil rights were violated. And for all of us, this is too familiar. Like you said, what if it wasn't Tyreek? What if it was Tyree that we were going to be talking about later, right? Nichols. So right now, we got to make sure that we're getting the right narrative out there because they're already trying to spin it, and we can't let it happen.
Actually, so the 6-second clip we showed, here's actually a longer video. It's all together. It's 23 seconds. I want y'all to watch this here.
Oh, shit, they got fucking Reed. Oh, they arrested Reed. They arrested Reed. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's fucking Clarence Campbell right there.
So you ain't tell me you go from 23 seconds. So in 23 seconds, Julian, you go from, I'm going to re-rack this here. Y'all go ahead and play it again. In 23 seconds. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was actually, before he got kicked him, it was 14 seconds. So from the beginning So, first of all, have my audio up over the video. So, from this point right here to 12 seconds later, the cop decides to kick him. Really? Watch this here. Here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, boom, kicked him.
That's fucking Calais Campbell right there.
Now the cops got to help him up. So I'm sorry. So let's be real clear. There are, let me go back. There are 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. There are 5 cops surrounding a handcuffed man, and this cop decides to kick him in his side. Go, Julianne, go ahead.
Well, he kicked him because he could. That's what happened. He kicked him because he could. This is excess of power, authority, ignorance. He kicked him because he could. Tyreek Hill, even if he was going 150 miles an hour, you stop someone for a traffic stop. You stop him, you give him a ticket. If you have to, you arrest him. You don't put him in handcuffs and knock him down on the ground and then kick him. What they're saying, you ain't shit. Excuse my language, but you ain't shit. We can do whatever we want to you. This really harkens back to the era of lynching, to the era of police violence against Black people. It says we can do what we want to you. Praise the Lord for the people who took pictures on the way. But this should not, and you're absolutely right, Roland. This police union is circling the wagons. He did this, he did that. He ain't do a GD thing. If you look at these pictures, he did not resist. The only thing he did was he stood up for himself. He didn't roll the window all the way down and hey, whatever. He didn't roll the window all the way down. That is not a requirement. You know, he didn't kiss the police officers behind. That is not a requirement.
Yep.
And so we see the increased dehumanization of a Black man and a star. And like he said, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill?
Yep.
What if I was like Cootie Brown? He might have
Gotcha. Joy?
Let's be clear, when I've been stopped by a cop, I don't roll my window all the way down. Many of us don't. We use it as an era of a little bit of protection and barrier. You have to comply, but you do not have to be subservient. You do not have to behave like a slave. The only person behaving in a thuggish or inappropriate behavior was the cops. They were cursing at him. They were swiftly changing strategies, tactics, requests. That is something we've seen many times overseeing these videos. The person gets one demand, and then immediately they get another demand. That is something that we have seen that is habitual.
Yep.
And that makes it very hard to comply. You're already nervous. There are very good reasons, if you are a Black man, to be afraid of the cops.
Hell up. Even if you're a professional athlete, because there's a long history of professional athletes being accosted and even literally handcuffed and sat on the curb by Miami cops.
Correct. And they were out there only a block or so from the stadium itself at a time where players were arriving.
Yeah, I mean, they look, listen, I've been on game day. Joe, I've been on game day. It's traffic duty, but I'm sorry, 5 cops taking down one guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Al Diaz of the Miami Herald did take this photo here. This was during the game after Tyreek scored a touchdown. Him and another wide receiver did this motion where where the guy was trying to get him removed from handcuffs. So they did make light of that, but it is not a situation to make light of. Kenny Stills is a former Miami Dolphins wide receiver. He also commented on this. He was like, hey, I hope, he said, I hope Tyreek will then want to talk about how to use his platform. He was one of the pro players who joined Colin Kaepernick in protesting. Go to my iPad. He's here to help you understand your understanding of these issues when you're ready, Cheetah. And so this was one of the things that Kenny Stills, I reached out to Kenny Stills to get him on the show. We'll see if he will join us. I was going to be talking to Congressman Steven Horsford about this DEI initiative from the CBC. We're going to do that right now, but I do want to get, Congressman, just your take on, I don't know if you saw the video, saw what happened. We broke it all down. The cop told him to pull his window down. He put his window down. Then the cop said, no, get out of the car. He complied. And so now the union is putting their statement out. This is precisely why the George Floyd Justice Act was passed by Democrats in the House, but it was held up and stopped by Senator Tim Scott, Senator Lindsey Graham, and the Republicans in the Senate. This is why you got to have police accountability. And let's also keep in mind, Donald Trump has made it clear he wants to give cops 100% immunity when it comes to things like this. And that one cop who kicked Tyreek Hill as well, that cop is likely the one on administrative duty. This is what the CBC and others have been fighting against.
You're absolutely right, Roland, and I'm here off the House floor. I do want to express our outrage at the handling of the NFL player there in Miami by the local police department. And as you rightfully noted, this sets up the comparison between Vice President Harris and Democrats who have been fighting to put in place in this case, executive orders to prevent some of the worst practices that we see. Every community, every black person, every black man deserves to feel safe in our own communities, driving cars to work. That's what he was doing. And the fact that his rights really were abused by this officer is very concerning. But I do want to underscore that this is why this upcoming election matters. We have Vice President Harris, who is working to make sure that we have accountability in law enforcement. She passed with the president the executive orders on federal law enforcement, on no-knock warrants, on making sure that we have no chokeholds, establishing for the first time a national registry so that when officers violate people's civil rights, they're not able to just move from department to department. Meanwhile, you have Donald Trump, who has said that he will all but provide complete immunity to law enforcement. That means without exception, no matter what they do, and the person who is victimized has no rights to justice. So I just really want to underscore, and we will be reaching out to the Players Association to make sure that they know that the Congressional Black Caucus stands with them, and that we're going to continue to fight for the passage of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, something that our late colleague, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, championed up into the very end of her passing just a few months ago.
Indeed. We talk about this anti-black attack with police. We also see it in corporate America. The fight against DEI, things along those lines. The CBC released their corporate accountability report, What Good Looks Like. Again, their report dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion is the first of its kind report found the majority of Fortune 500 companies that responded to a survey by the CBC remain committed to advancing diversity, equity, inclusion. But here's the thing, Congressman Horsford, you got these right-wing people, they're attacking companies like Jack Daniels, John Deere, and others, companies that they believe, appeal to the right or, country folks, rural folks, whatever you want to call it. And now you have, of course, the story where Leonard Leo is going to deploy $1 billion to go after what he calls the liberal agenda. And they specifically want to go after corporate America. So what they're setting up is a vicious attack. And let's be clear, if Trump wins, they will be aided by a White House and Republican Congress that wants to take down any and every corporate program, collegiate program, educational program that has been beneficial, not great, but been beneficial to black folks and other minorities.
So this is why the Congressional Black Caucus issued a letter to Fortune 500 companies. I am pleased that we had nearly 200 companies respond. That's 30%. And for a first of its kind effort across all sectors to hold companies accountable to the commitments that they made after the death of George Floyd in 2020, the tragic death. There was $50 billion worth of quote unquote racial equity commitments. And as we said in the report, the time is over for making promises with no action. And so the report that we issued today outlines exactly what companies are or are not doing around the issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace, in business diversity through contracting, so that businesses, small businesses that are Black owned, continue to have the opportunity to do business with these major corporations. And where are the investments that these companies said that they would make? Now, this report is a step towards the work that we're doing around building Black wealth, creating an economy that is an ownership economy, not just one that's based on consumer spending. Black Americans, we spend a lot, but we need to be the owners and the controllers of our destiny, and that's why this report was so necessary. I would encourage people to go to congressionalblackcaucus.org to read the report. And again, we're going to continue to hold corporate America accountable to the promises that they've made and the work that still needs to be done around diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as racial equity in this country.
Oh, you're off the floor. You got to go back, but here's the whole deal. Project 2025 has this whole thing on anti-white racism. Stephen Miller, we saw what happened with the Black farmers. They want to shut down everything. They want to shut down any MWBE program. They want to shut down. They've already attacked the
Small Business Administration,
yes, the SBA,
the Fearless Fund,
yeah, all of that. I mean, so
access to capital. They want to take away the tools of opportunity. So at a time when Vice President Harris and Democrats led by the Congressional Black Caucus are talking about expanding economic opportunity, helping close the racial wealth gap. Today in America, the average white per capita wealth is about $284,000, and the average Black wealth is about $44,000. We know that that's because of systemic discrimination and racism, but that's why we need policy, permanent policy that really works to address these systemic issues. And you're absolutely right, Roland. Donald Trump and Trump's Project 2025 specifically has a section about eliminating access to capital, eliminating funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion on college campuses so that Black athletes don't have the opportunities to even get the support they need when they're in college, let alone when they're done with their education. They're trying to take away the tools of opportunity, whether it be in business, in education, or in the workplace. And the Congressional Black Caucus is standing firm against going backward. We're not going backward with Donald Trump. We have to continue to push forward with Vice President Kamala Harris, led by efforts of the Congressional Black Caucus.
Folks, don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have our debate coverage right here on the Black Star Network, and we're going to be partnering with the Congressional Black Caucus for our watch party, and so y'all do not want to miss this coverage. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a great time here, and y'all can skip all the rest of the networks. I can guarantee y'all going to see more Black people in the first 10 minutes tomorrow night than all the other networks combined all night or hell all week. So, Congressman Horsford, we look forward to hosting the CBC in our Black Star Network studios tomorrow.
Appreciate you for doing it. And, you know, it's an important debate, and we're looking forward to the Vice President and her vision for how she's going to continue to move us forward. And it is important that we continue to center the issues of Black Americans in all of the discussions around the economy. And I'm so pleased that she's done just that, and more is to come as this campaign continues in November.
All right, Congressman Horsford, Chair of the CBC, thanks a lot.
Take care.
All right, Frat, thanks a bunch. Folks, quick break. We come back. Tyreek Hill body cam footage is out. We have it. We'll show you next. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Support the work that we do. Please join our Bring the Fuck fan club. Y'all, you ain't getting this breakdown anywhere else. Send your check-in money order, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. Cash App, $RM Unfiltered. Looks like we got it back going again, but we do have a backup as well, so we'll give that to you if we need to. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. We'll be right back.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, are you trying to figure out how to earn more revenue in your business during these volatile times? Learn how to tap into the largest marketplace in the world through government contracting. Our next guest, Akia Hardnett, will be sharing how you can get wealthy through government contracting.
We've got a young lady, government assistance to government contracts. She literally was on government assistance when she came to us, and in less than a year, she has been winning multiple government contracts, and it has changed the trajectory of her family.
That's right here, only on Black Star Network.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind $100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Sammy Roman.
Hey, it's John Murray, the executive producer of the new Sherry Shepherd Talk Show.
It's me, Sherry Shepherd, and you know what you're watching, Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, moments ago, the video of the arrest of Tyreek Hill of Miami Dolphins was released. Here is one 3-minute and 35-second segment. Remember, 105 minutes of the video has been released. Watch this.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why you have it on? Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. Get out of the car. Give me your ass, bro. Get out of the car. Give me your ass. We'll break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 What part of violence you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? I'm getting out. You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. You're a little fucking confused. I'm getting out, bro. Too late. Chill, bro. Too late. All right, bro. Take me to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro. We are. We will. Good, bro. It is good. Hey, Drew. Hey. Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. Stop crying, bro. Y'all. Don't move. Good. Bro, you beating on my window like you crazy. You set him up? Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro. What's going on? Bro, dude beating on my window like he crazy. I ain't do nothing, twin. Damn.
Hey, don't park there. Don't park there.
Hey. Get down, hold on, twin, hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we go there. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, Joe New, bro. Back up. Hey, call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Call Drew. Hey, call Drew. Call Drew, bro. Call Drew. Call Drew. Hey, call Drew, bro. Hey, what? Hey, call Drew, bro. Just call Drew. Hey. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. What am I doing that's wrong?
Hey, Listen.
Take it back in the Hey, listen. Hey, man, they got Tyreek. The cops over here beating on him, man. They over here beating on Tyreek,
Listen, big man. Don't park there, man. Just get in the
Hey,
car.
Drew, you gotta come, man.
Just get in the car.
Right up the side, on the side of the,
Hey, get in the car. You're parked in the middle of the street.
I'm in the car. You gotta go before you get a ticket.
Hey,
I'm
you're in the car.
Who's the driver? This is my car. All right, move. I'll take that. You gotta move right now.
Let me have your license. You're gonna have a ticket too.
I'm coming.
Let me have your license. You're gonna have a ticket. Let me have your license.
I'm leaving.
I'm not playing. Let me have your license.
Leaving. Yo, what's
your
going
license
on?
right now.
What's going on?
Your license right now. You're not gonna give me your license?
Get in the car and leave.
You're not gonna give me your license?
I'm leaving.
Let me have your license. Your license right now.
Sir,
hey, your license right now.
I'm leaving.
Or I'm gonna lock you up. Your license right now.
He just told me to
Your
leave.
license right now. You're dealing with me now.
Sir.
Your license right now.
All right, I always see people in business. All right, so that's a 3 minute 35 second. Remember, they released 105 minutes of video. Let me see if we can find. Now, here's what's crazy right there. See, perfect example we talked about earlier. One cop tells him to leave. One cop says, give me your license. He says, I'm leaving. He told me to leave. Well, you're dealing with me right now. How about y'all talk to each other? And if you go back and actually see this video at the beginning, Tyreek Hill literally, you go to it, pull the audio up. They're going to his car. He rolls the window down. He rolls it back up. Then they say, roll it back down. He does. They mad because he didn't roll it all the way down. Now, remember, right here, the police union said that he was handcuffed and detained for their safety. Why you pull him out of the car? You create less of a scene if he stays in the car. Watch.
What? As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
Give me your ass,
Get out of the car.
Give me your ass, we'll break that freaking window.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
So I want to freeze it right there. Freeze right there. So y'all see right here. Come to me. Y'all gonna see right here. Tyreek Hill is literally getting out of the car. Okay, I'm gonna pick. So they open the door. Watch right here. He's getting out of the car. So, Omakongo, why do you have to snatch him out of the car when he's getting out of the car?
Because they feel like they can do whatever the hell they want with us. The brother was sitting here literally saying, like, I'm getting out of the car. And in real time, Roland, you talked about how the fact that the officers are conflicting each other. That officer right there was conflicting himself. He was like, don't get out of the car. Or what do you say? Put your window down or I'm going to pull you out the car. In fact, get out of the car. Like he says that all within like a 3-second span. It's like they don't even know what they're doing. And they're trying to just basically say, shut up and do what we're going to do in real time. And for Tyreek to say that, I just had surgery on.
All right, so we're going to do this. Hold tight 1 second. So this is the body cam video of the officer who approached the car. Listen.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window like that, no.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can lower it and talk to you.
Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Hey! Keep your window down.
All right, I want to freeze it right there. Now, y'all, I don't know if y'all see it right here. Boom.
Yep.
Right there. He's got Tyreek's driver's license in his hand. So all you do in that situation, Juliana, is you go back to the car, run his name, see if there are any warrants, write his ticket up, you come back, give him his ticket. He says, hey, man, go write me the ticket up. I got to go. I'm going to play the rest of it from the top. Go. Watch this.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window like that, no.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can lower it and talk to you.
Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Okay, I got to freeze right there. I had to knock on your window, let you know that I'm here. You got my driver's license in your hand. Why are you knocking on my car window? I'm confused. Let me play the rest.
Rolling because they can.
Keep it down. Hey, keep your window down. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Give me that. I'm gonna break that fucking window.
Get out of the car.
I'm finna get out.
Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Damn. What part of brother doing this now? Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out.
You understand what you want, but when we tell you, you're a little fucking confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
All right, bro, take me to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. You stop.
Don't worry about it. Hang up the phone. Julian, go.
Who? I don't even know where to go. I mean, this is so deep and so disgusting. And so, like you said, they pulled him out of the car because they could. They harassed him because they could. This is called, this is why we have Black Lives Matter. This is why the Dred Scott decision said black folks have no rights that whites are bound to respect. This is absurd. It's ridiculous. The man was cooperative. He did not do anything disruptive. He asked them respectfully, frankly, stop banging on his window. Roland, I'm almost speechless. But this is like you said. What if he was not Tyreek Hill? What if he was Bubba Brown? He could have been shot. He could have been killed. These people are out of control. And we look at this, praise the Lord that we have this thing amplified. But guess what? This is what happens to black men and women every single day with these out of control police officers who believe, like Joy said, I'll get out of I don't drive anymore. I'm too old. But I mean, I've had experiences where I get out the car. Oh, hell no. I'm not, I had one happen to me a year ago, and the guy said, get out the car. I said, get somebody here, because I'm not getting out the car. Yeah. That's how it is. We know how deep this runs. It is a remnant of the slave society, and I don't even know what to say. I almost want to cry that the brother was humiliated like that, and then he went and did an 80-yard. I mean, come on.
Well, actually, he had about 110 yards receiving in that game. Joy, here's the thing that we keep talking about. When you look at these incidents where black men are shot and killed, in so many cases, it's a minor traffic incident.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Minor traffic incident. Sometimes other types of minor incidences that can be de-escalated. This is about bad cops. I'm going to be honest with you. Like he said in his conversation afterwards at the press conference, there can be bad apples. These are bad apples, but it's a lot of bad apples. And we've got to ask what kind of people are being hired. This escalated very quickly. We expect police officers to be professionals who are trained in the art of de-escalation. He did nothing wrong, but hey, let's say he did have a curt tone or whatever. That is his business. He was cooperating. You don't have to have a nice tone. They certainly didn't with the cursing and the yelling and the pulling him out of the car. That was wrong. They should be relieved of their duties. We can't have people like that. They escalated a situation. He should have, he had his license. They should have given him a ticket or not and let him be on his way. Nope. And then go on to, doing the rest of their job for the rest of their day.
But that's
there was nothing here.
But the reality is that's not happening. And in fact, here's the whole deal. one of the cops, now again, this is not all about, you know, celebrity, but listen to this exchange right here from another body cam footage. Listen. Hold up, I'm gonna make sure the audio's up. Give me 1 second.
Why is he acting up like that? You know who that is, right?
Huh?
You know who that is?
No.
It's one of the Dolphins star players.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, it's a great way to start out 2024, right? Huh?
1 second. So you hear him say, do you know who that is? But first of all, I need to hear clearly again. I want to play it again. I'm trying to, did he actually say, why is he on the curb? Listen to this again. See if y'all heard the same thing I did. Listen.
Why is he acting up like that? You know who that is, right?
Huh?
You know who that is?
No.
It's one of the Dolphins star players.
Oh, yeah?
Boom. He said, why is he on the curb like that? Now, one, that cop recognized who he was. But at first it was, why is he on the curb like that? Kind of important question. Kind of important question. Folks, as I said, 105 minutes of body cam footage has been released. Miami-Dade was under intense pressure by media folks all day. And let me say this right here before I go to a break, before I go to our next segment. I don't want to see no bullshit beer summit like Obama did. Let me be real clear. I don't want to see this BS of Tyreek Hill sitting with the officers. Can we have a little conversation? Damn that. Damn that. Let me also say Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, big-time Trump supporter, but he should know better with that fake social justice coalition he put together after the Colin Kaepernick stuff as well. So it's going to be real interesting to watch how this thing plays out in Miami over the next week. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's some hell that needs to pay when it comes to not one cop being put on administrative duty. More than one cop needs to be put on administrative duty. And frankly, some folk need to be fired because, as Joy said, your job is to de-escalate, not to escalate. Let me hold tight. When we come back, we're going to talk about the debate tomorrow. And black education advocates, they want ABC News, Harris, and Trump to talk about what's happening with black kids in education. We'll talk to Dr. Steve Perry and Jalen Rose next. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Hatred on the streets, a horrific scene, a white nationalist rally that descended into deadly violence.
White people are losing their damn minds.
As an angry pro-Trump mob storms the U.S. Capitol, we've seen shooting.
We're about to see the rise of what I call white minority resistance. We have seen white folks in this country who simply cannot tolerate black folks voting.
I think what we're seeing is the inevitable result of violent denial.
This is part of American history. Every time that people of color have made progress, whether real or symbolic, there has been what Carol Anderson at Emory University calls white rage as a backlash.
This is the rise of the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys. America, there's going to be more of this.
Here's all the Proud Boys, guys.
This country is getting increasingly racist in its behaviors and its attitudes because of the fear of white people.
The fear that they're taking our jobs, they're taking our resources, they're taking our women. This is white fear.
What's up? Geek Tony in the place to be. Got Kicked Out Your Mama's University, creator and executive producer of Fat Tuesdays, an air hip-hop comedy. But right now, I'm rolling with Roland Martin, unfiltered, uncut, unplugged, and undamn believable. You hear me?
Folks, a lot of new polling out showing who's up, who's down. You got Nate Silver running around talking about Trump could be on a runaway train to decisive victory. Other polling shows, Nate's lying. Let me tell y'all something, everybody right now. Ignore every damn poll. Let me be perfectly clear. It's Monday, September 9th. The election ain't today, it ain't tomorrow, it ain't next week, and it ain't next month. And so ignore whatever poll that you see right now. I don't care, polls showing up, Harris up in Michigan, Harris up in North Carolina, Trump up in Pennsylvania. None of that stuff means anything, folks. Not one poll has ever elected anybody. The focus needs to be on turning people out, getting people who are registered to make sure they vote, getting people who are not registered to actually vote. I don't care. I don't care what any poll says. I don't care about the New York Times Siena poll, which undercounts black people. I don't care about any of those polls. Every national poll, they mean nothing. Do not get caught up in this silly, silly game when it comes to polls. You should be focusing on issues and getting people focused on what matters. Well, there's been so much attention in this election to economics and the border. One issue that you have not heard a lot about is education. Outside of Project 2025 and Donald Trump wanting to get rid of the Department of Education. Well, a coalition for charter schools called the Freedom Coalition for Charter Schools. They want Harris and Trump plus ABC News tomorrow to focus on the crisis affecting black children. Joining us right now are two members of the coalition, Dr. Steve Perry, the founder of Capital Preparatory Schools and former NBA player and founder and board president of the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. Jalen Rose, glad to have both of you here. So let's start right here. Steve, when you look at this whole election, education hasn't gotten talked about. Folks talking about economics, they're talking about the economy, they're talking about what happened after COVID. But when you look at the stats, it shows the devastating impact not only COVID had on black kids, but what was happening with black kids prior to COVID.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Roland, for having this conversation because it's so important. We're literally talking about tens of millions of black children who are currently languishing in schools that are not meeting their most basic academic needs. And the reason why is because the conversation is not about the Department of Education, it's about the Department of Employment. The conversation that Vice President Harris and former President Trump are having is about the people who work in the schools, not about the children who need an education. In America, we see a tragic achievement gap. And what that means is that there's a significant disparity between the academic performance of black children and white children. And the reason why is because so few children attend schools who are African American that have their best interests at heart. In fact, what we see is African American children are most likely to attend some of the poorest performing schools in the United States of America. It's not because the children are disinterested in learning or because their parents don't value education. It's because of the lower expectations that are put upon them in the schools that are typically neighborhood schools. We have answers. Charter schools, public charter schools have outperformed traditional neighborhood schools for the past 30 years since their inception, in large part because they were designed to solve a problem, the problem of the academic achievement gap. So we impress upon ABC News to reach out on both sides and ask the honest questions. What are y'all going to do to make sure that the tens of millions of black children in the United States of America who are among the worst served by the traditional public schools receive access to a world-class education?
Jalen, when we talk about, again, this whole issue, look, I'm from Texas, and you got Governor Greg Abbott, who's been trying to push through his voucher bill, which frankly I call a voucher scam. We see what's happening in Tennessee. Billionaires are funding these things. And the reality is they're trying to prop up religious schools. They're trying to prop up private schools. And it's not about the kids. It's not about low-performing schools. It's not about low-performing kids. No, they don't give a damn. It's about providing big checks to suburban families to send their kids to public school. That's what's going on here. And again, the people who are being left out of this conversation are the kids who are unfortunately going to low-performing schools where they don't have the resources, they don't have top-notch teachers, they don't have the kinds of facilities that are needed. That's what's going on.
Absolutely, Roland, and thank you for leading this conversation, this very important conversation that's solely ignored by both sides of each political party. And one of the things I want to stress is a lot of times I hear people having these conversations that truly are unqualified. And here's what I mean. I'm someone that attended a Detroit public school.
I founded a charter school, and I was fortunate enough to put my kids in private school. So I've seen all sides of this. And what has happened is instead of it being about education, this topic has become political in a lot of ways. Now, for the Republicans, since the beginning of time, they've been able to distinguish the quality of someone's education by their zip code, which is why you see so many people since the beginning of time trying to find ways to use a different zip code to put their son or their daughter in a better performing school versus the one that's in their community that's been failing since the beginning of time. And so with that suburban dynamic, they get better policing, better ambulances, better supermarkets, and better care really for their young people, which is why, as you started this segment by saying Trump even went so far to say, defund public schools. Now for the Democrats, here's a different level of politicism that they're dealing with. The teachers union. And what ends up happening is they don't want to do or say anything that's going to upset the apple cart to the donations that they get. And as a founder of a charter school, I respect the value of teachers so much. I think they're the hardest working, underappreciated demographic of people that we have in society that have the most important job. Think about it. They're raising your kids, they're educating your kids, and they still have to have the level of discipline and intellect to carry out their jobs while they're underappreciated in a lot of ways. Now, for the Democrats, it's in a lot of ways about teachers having tenure, and also they're assuming to the people who don't know any better that charter schools are taking students from public schools. Newsflash, my charter school is a public school. My charter school is a nonprofit organization. So there are a lot of things that get peddled to the public where people don't know the basics of what's happening in education. And for someone that opened up a tuition-free, open enrollment, public charter school, that's a 9 through 16 model. Why did I start a 9 through 16 model? Because in the United States, we really fail our young people after 12th grade. Think about your high school experience. Once you graduated, your high school didn't do nothing for you. But however, 2-year college or university, trade school, military, cosmetology, police academy, whatever our young people choose to do after high school, JRLA still provides that secondary support. And you only can get that infrastructure via a charter school.
But see, here's the thing here, Steve, that when we talk about, and Jason touched on this, how this conversation goes. And you have folks with agendas on both sides. You have, first of all, there are teachers unions who want to see teachers at charter schools unionize. What you also have is and of course, teachers unions are significant supporters of the Democratic Party. That's just a fact. On the flip side is you got a lot of Republicans who would love nothing better to get rid of teachers unions because they hate the fact that they are significant donors of the Democratic Party. And so you got motives. I remember speaking at a school choice conference here in Washington, D.C., and I literally said, why are y'all here? Are you here for the kids or are you here for the party? And I said, now, if y'all here for the party, I said, I need y'all to get the hell out. I'm here for the kids. And I said, and then I challenged them, I said, and I literally said to them, and Steve, you might remember when you called me and the white woman in Texas wanted your help for a voucher bill, and you like, listen, I ain't from Texas, but Roland is, and you called me, and the first thing I said to her was, I said, why is your boy all white? Then I asked her, I said, do you know who the charter school leaders are that are black and Latino in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio? She was like, no. I said, oh, so you want me and Steve to come in and get black people to come support the bill? I said, but you don't even know who the black people are in your state. And I was like, y'all gonna lose, and I advise you the next 2 years to go learn who the black people are. That's what we're facing. There are people who want to use black and Latino people as props and not confront the actual education crisis.
Let me give you a specific, for instance. One of the places where we have schools is in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Bridgeport, Connecticut's public schools are overwhelmingly black and Latin. Dare I say over 95% African American and Latin. Yet, almost 90% of the teachers are white. 90%. And of that 90%, over 90% live in the suburbs. The urban education index is a suburban employment scheme. Those folks don't even buy an apple in the hood. They don't even pay for parking in the hood. They're not from our community, and in many cases, they are not for our community. And I struggle to distinguish between the left or the right, because neither one of them have come forward with an openness to the kind of honest conversation that actual practitioners like Jalen and I have. We are two people who spent our day today in urban schools. We actually do the work. We are not some hoity-toity college professors who are on high talking about things such as pedagogy. We are not politicians who are simply trying to maintain the status quo of racial segregation. We are out here busting our knuckles on the concrete, creating opportunities for living, breathing Black and Latin children, finding ways to make sure that this 300-year-old system that was designed to ensure that white people continue to maintain control, that is the epitome of white supremacy. The neighborhood public school system is the epitome. It is the driving force behind white supremacy. So when we have brothers like Jalen and I and sisters like Dr. Charlene Reed, as well as parents like Miss Sarah down in Tennessee, coming together with brothers like Jeff Canada and Dr. Howard Fuller, people who have spent their entire career coming up with real solutions, saying, hey, can y'all at least consider our perspective when you make up these goofy policies? When you disregard that, both sides are equally culpable in the demise of African-American children.
But here's the thing right here, and this is part of the issue, Jayla, and I'm going to go to my panel next with questions, and that is this here. This issue, our children have been fundamentally failed by mainstream media. When you watch these debates, I go back to 4 years ago, I go back to 8 years ago, you do not have substantive discussions about education when it comes to these debates. You simply don't have them. Now, in Black media, Black-owned media, Black-targeted media, you don't have substantive conversations about traditional schools, charter schools. Look, when I created school choice as a Black choice, there were people who were like, well, you're not an educator. I was like, yeah, you're right, but I got 9 nieces, 4 nephews. So why in the hell I can't care about education? Oh, by the way, I'm also an employer. So I kind of got to care about education because I need folks being properly educated who I'm going to be hiring in the future. And that's part of the problem here. We have this whole attitude that somehow you can't speak about education if you're not an educator. That's crazy. But we have a media institution that is failing us because even when we talk about charter schools, I have gone to many places and I've said point blank, I support every form of education that works. Traditional schools, if it's working, I'm down with it. If it's magnet schools, I went to 2. If it's charter school, online school, home school, if it's trade school, if it is working, I'm down with it. On the flip side, if it's not working, what I'm not going to do is keep supporting something that is all about failure.
I totally.
Go ahead.
I get where you're coming from, and think about it. As you were speaking and you were naming the types of schools, it reminded me of something. This is such a nonpartisan topic that has become so political because other than the air we breathe, going to school is something we all have in common in one way, shape, or form pretty much. As you just mentioned, homeschool, magnet school, charter school, public school, suburban school, private school. At some point, each of us attend a school. Now, the difference is your ability financially to put you in a better neighborhood to go to your neighborhood school or to be put in a private school. But as you guys have very well acknowledged, Black and brown kids who grow up in the inner city usually don't have that option because they grow up in families where their parents don't make that kind of money to make that kind of move. Charter schools have existed in Michigan for 30 years. I've had my school for 14 years, and you're right, this topic continues to be ignored because the same topic has been politicized. And also I want to say this, it's not just the parties, it's the pawns that the parties send out to parrot their hollow messages while ignoring this important fact about education. So we hope tomorrow's debate doesn't do what both parties have continued to do. That's ignore the plight of education in urban communities. I was just, as Dr. Steve Perry acknowledged, I was at my school today, Roland, and I literally got on the Lodge Freeway to come do this interview, and it reminded me of the blight in my neighborhood and how underfunded my community is. And I looked to my left, all I saw was a food desert, cemetery, and something else that's really sad that's happening now. There's a place where you used to be able to get petroleum for your car. Now, basically, they're dressed up as liquor stores where you can buy gas. So the plight of our young people is not being educated, isn't just for the inner city, by the way. Here's why. Because we want everybody to have access to a quality education, because if everybody doesn't get access to a quality education, you don't want that young person all of a sudden going to the streets and being that young person that's trying to stick a gun in your face while you're at the ATM machine. You want everybody to have the quality public education opportunity that their suburban counterparts get in the inner city as well.
I'm going to go to our panel for questions. Let me first start with Julian. Julian, go.
Steve Perry, you know, I respect your work immensely, and my brother from Detroit, you as well. At the same time, I am a lifetime educator, former college president, blah, 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 blah. And one of the things that bothers me about the embracing of charter schools, when the data are not definitive, that charter schools do better than public schools. Public schools are not perfect, but charter schools, there is no definitive data about that. And what charter schools do, or public schools do rather, in my mind, is level the playing field so that we're all having an even, basically even opportunity. You can shake your head all you want to, brother. I'm going to tell you what I have to say. And what I have to say is that there's some challenges here in terms of access and assets. And I really have some challenges with the way that you guys go after public schools when I think that public schools do level the playing field. Tell me what you think.
Steve Perry, you first.
Malveaux,
Steve, you first.
Certainly, Dr. Malveaux, with all great respect, one of the schools that I believe that you were president of was a private school, yes?
Absolutely.
So, right. So clearly you have no problem with leading a private.
Yeah, right. Hold on. Yes. Yeah, hold up. For folks who don't, Bennett College, private school for women. Steve, go.
So here's what the truth tells us. The truth tells us that for 300 years, public schools have not served Black children, not just from 1954, but ever. By putting children in schools based upon their zip code, which is a proxy for race, the United States of America has consistently underperformed in serving its children. So it is fantasy to say that neighborhood schools create a level playing field. It's just not true. As much as we want to romanticize it, the fact is there would not be an achievement gap if it leveled the playing field. By design, the notion of leveling means that we end up with the same outcomes. If we don't end up with the same outcomes, it is by design unequal. And what often happens is we use poverty as a proxy for race. When we remove poverty and we use only race, even middle-class Black children are not receiving a fair American public education. And to your point, sister, the Credo study by Stanford University, a 30-year study, just produced yet again examples of how charter schools actually do outperform neighborhood schools. So if your concern about charter schools was that they did not outperform neighborhood schools, and I've now again shown you that they do by talking about the most recent Credo study by Stanford University, a respected also private college. And if I also can show you that there are over 300 years of examples of Black people who are being forced into schools that simply do not meet their needs. If that doesn't do it, then I'll take you here. 1.3% of all teachers in the United States of America are Black men. 1.3%. One of the reasons why only 1.3% of all teachers in the United States of America are Black men is because Black men have had such a horrible experience, guess where? In public schools. We as a group are the most suspended, expelled, disciplined, most likely to drop out, most easily determined to be special needs, and quite frankly, underserved. So to say that that system, which is the epitome of inherent racism, is leveling the playing field when there's absolutely no evidence of such. None.
I'm gonna let Jalen step in here, but I do want to provide this data point right here. Go to my iPad, just so people understand. This is from, of course, publiccharters.org. The total percentage of students in charter schools nationally is 7.4%. That means that 92.6% of all students are either in traditional or private. They're not. So just 7.4% of students are in charter schools. Now, you have a disproportionate number in a number of your urban cities, but that's the total number. Jalen, go.
Thank you for creating this platform, Roland. And I just want to debunk a few things that continue to be said about charter schools. I have an open enrollment, tuition-free public charter school that I independently started at 9th grade, which means 90% of the young people that I meet when they first arrive aren't doing math or reading at a 9th grade level. So a lot of the work we have to do is more than just in the classroom. It's life skills, it's social skills, it's etiquette. It's putting them in position for growth so they can be successful members of society. What has happened is our young people are now only flagged by their SAT, ACT, and GPA, when it's a lot more than nurturing a young person than just that statistic, than just those statistics. The next thing, when we don't cherry pick students, and you mentioned, I believe, being from Detroit, what up, though? Since you were young, the only 2 quality schools that people bragged on are still the same ones people are bragging on now. That is Cass Tech and Renaissance. And they do great work with those scholars. And you know one thing they do that we don't do? They test in students before 9th grade, and they test them out before 10th grade. I'm an open enrollment school that's not only nurturing those scholars while they're in high school, I also created a secondary education program where we can support them post-graduation, 2-year college or university, military, trade school, cosmetology, whatever business, whatever they decide to get into, I'm still there to nurture them. So as someone who actually attended a public high school in Detroit, I actually live and know the difference. The misnomers that are getting put out there about charter schools are so inaccurate. It's really about this, everyone. The teachers union is a large donor to the Democratic Party, in particular on that side. We already talked about on the Republican side how this current candidate they have, Trump, already talked about just getting rid of public schools. And because of that dynamic of the teachers union, this is not about educating young people. It's about 2 things. It's about keeping tenure, which means in Michigan, in 5 years, in many states it's 3 years, you can basically not be great at your job and still have that job forever. And another misnomer is we're not taking students from public schools. You know why? I am a public school. So I just wanted to address those couple of points. And again, I'm glad this conversation is being had so that we can clear up a lot of misnomers that are being said inaccurately about public charter schools.
Before I go to Congo, everybody who's watching, do me a favor. If you go to our YouTube channel, type in "School Choice is the Black Choice." We've actually covered this. I dare say we've covered this extensively more than anybody in Black-owned media over the past decade, okay? I've had numerous segments. I've had people for and against. I've had Randy Weingarten. I've had Senator Tim Scott. I've had all kinds of different people. And so if you go to our YouTube channel, I just go to my iPad, you see it right here. Folks, these are literally all segments that most of these are of ours, segments that we have done, interviews with people, specials that we've done. You see this was a special at Morehouse. We were in Sacramento. We were in Philadelphia. We were in Atlanta. We were in Indianapolis. We go on and on. We were in New Orleans. We can go on and on and on. You can actually go see that. You see this right here, School Choice All-Stars. We actually interviewed top performing, this is an ad right here. Give me a second. It's going to come back to me. But you're going to see it in a second. We actually interviewed top performing Black charter school operators because we wanted to focus on Black people who own and controlled their public charter schools. Congo, go.
Yes, Mr. Rose, I had a question for you about your 9 to 16 model. I want to know what advice would you give to other charter schools or other public schools, and what's up, Dr. Perry, appreciate all your work as well, who really have that desire to start supporting students after they graduate from high school? Because you're absolutely right. It's after they get that diploma, it's, hey, nice having you, good luck with everything. What does that model look like? Can you give us some concrete ideas of what that looks like?
Absolutely, and thank you for the question. If I was a billionaire, this is something I would coin not only in the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, but it's something that should carry throughout the country. In a blue-collar town like Detroit, you could grow up, parent, get a job at the plant. I had parents, my mom worked at Chrysler, uncles worked at GM and Ford, everybody worked at a plant, get a car on the A plan, put your kid in a nice school and put yourself in position to be a working class, successful person, even without a high school diploma. Now with the high school diploma, and that's the only thing on your resume, a lot of times when you fill out a job opportunity, you know what they do? And throw it in the garbage because they don't care about a high school diploma anymore. And so while we're celebrating graduating from 12th grade and throwing our hats in the air, the job ain't done. It's a see you later. So we created what we call a group of people in our building that form our secondary education team, where they're nurturing you while you're in high school to put you in position to be successful when you graduate. They're helping you fill out your forms to get to school. They're making sure they're helping you fill out our CTE program so you can be a part of that and have a certificate and a diploma once you graduate from high school. And then when you graduate from high school, they're giving you college visits. We're fundraising for our young people also. High schools nowadays ain't fundraising for nobody when they graduate. We're still doing that at JRLA because we're a charter school, and it gives me the independent autonomy to put something like that in play. So thank you for that question, and it's something that's sorely needed in the scope of education, period, because the job isn't done after 12th grade.
Joy.
This is such a great conversation because it's a conversation where we all don't agree. It's not a monolithic answer. And so there are great charter schools, great public schools, and then there are those who are not. I love it. What I'd like to know is, what do you want, if you had a question, if you were leading the debate tomorrow night, what would you ask both Trump and Harris?
So if I were to start, that's a great question, sis. What I want to know is what either candidate is going to do to expand opportunities for African Americans to attend better schools. Also, I'd want to know, what are they prepared to do to ensure that more Black people can start and run schools? And finally, what I'd be interested in knowing is, how is it that they plan to deal with this profound gap in both academic achievement and participation on the other side of African American men in education.
So let me say this here. Go to my iPad. So this is a post that was on our YouTube channel moments ago. Karan Jamar Kenner. This is the only topic that I vehemently disagree with rolling on. Charter schools destroy public schools, mismanage funding, and cut corners, putting more stress on the educators. See, this right here, this is the problem. It's a broad statement, and it's a lie.
That's cap.
Now, let me be very...
Literally a lie.
Now, let me be perfectly clear. Are there charter schools that mismanage funds? Yes. Are there traditional schools and school districts that mismanage funds? Yes.
Yes.
Are there, you say there are charter schools destroy public schools. If the traditional schools were not destroying themselves, then there would be no charter schools. I mean, hold on. No, I'm not done. It says they cut corners. There are some charter schools that have cut corners. There are a lot of traditional schools that cut corners. See, it says putting more stress on the educators. If you want to see stress, go talk to a lot of traditional public schools. See, this right here, what Karan Jamar Kenner just said, is what I have encountered from numerous people. And let me say this again. Jalen is right there in Detroit. There have been some awful charter schools in Detroit that have no business being in business. And there are some awful public traditional schools that have no business being in business. There have been people working for the Detroit public schools who have embezzled funds, who have gone to prison. And there have been people who have been overpaying themselves and not doing right in charter schools. So let me say this again for everybody who goes into this, oh, charter schools steal money, this, that, and the other. Let me be clear. There are some bad actors, a lot of bad actors in traditional schools. Why? Because it's more. And there are bad actors in the charter school movement. And what I have said directly to charter school leaders, and Steve has heard me say it at conferences and thousands of people in the audience, run their punk asses out of the movement. I've said because those are the people who cause the problems. Now, how many people have the guts to say, let's also run out awful superintendents, awful school boards, awful administrators, awful principals, and awful teachers? See, people, I remember, oh, God, who's for? I know we streamed it. It was a former moderator. It was in D.C. Reverend Jackson was on the panel. Brandy Weingart was on the panel. And I literally said, there are some sorry teachers. Some dude said, no, it's not. I said, your ass lying. Matter of fact, I said, you know what show I'm lying? I said, all the teachers in the room, raise your hand. And hands went up. I then said, how many of y'all teachers in the room know y'all work with some sorry teachers? And them hands stayed up. So I'm like, why don't we sit here and lie about it? There are listen, I'm a journalist, and I just said this that night. I said, there's some sorry-ass people in journalism, and I don't want their asses in journalism. I said, but I'm bold enough to actually say I don't want their asses in journalism. I said, so educators and charter school people gotta stop playing games by not wanting to call out folk who are bad actors in the profession.
Correct. And by the way, this should be a nonpartisan topic, but what makes it political is the business that comes with charter schools versus public schools. And you just said your own answer, Roland. Why can't teachers who are ineffective, why can't administrators who are ineffective basically get fired? I'm going to introduce you to the word. It's called tenure. That's the power of the public school and the donations that they're giving to the Democratic Party. And for the Republican Party, they just want to ignore public schools altogether because they want the quality of your education to be what it always has been, defined by your zip code. And so I want to go back to that tweet.
Hold on, Jalen. I come from Houston Independent School District. Houston Independent School District has open enrollment. You don't have to go to your neighborhood school. But here's the problem. Black kids who are zoned to Jack Yates High School, who may go to Sterling or Worthing or somewhere else, they still enrolling in bad schools. And so it is the infrastructure, it is what the focus is, and people keep asking me, and Steve, I'm gonna go to you, people keep asking me, then I'm gonna go to you, Julian, they keep asking me, Roland, why do you support charter schools? And I say, there was a sister in Chicago who created her own school, but it was private. And she used a Socratic teaching method. Her name was Dr. Marva Collins. But here's what happened. Why did her school shut down? And I remember personally talking to her before she died when I was trying to get assistance for my 4 nieces when my wife and I were raising them. And this would happen. Black folks couldn't afford to send their kids to her school. So then her daughter took the school over. Then the school shut down. Her daughter, unfortunately, took a life by suicide. That's what happened while her mother was still alive. So people say, well, why do you support charters? I said, because. And then I remember Randy Weingarten say, well, white racists created charter schools. I said, white racists created, hold up, but no, I said, hold on, wait, no, but this was my answer. I said, white racists created every damn system in America. That don't mean that we're not involved in the same shit. This is what I said. If there is a system, I don't give a damn how it was created. If there is a system that allows for black people to take and control the school, control the money, control the contracts, control the curriculum, and control the hiring, shit, I'm down for it. Because, Steve, I'm gonna go to you then Julian. You cannot name me a single traditional school that we actually control. And when I say control, meaning, Steve, you run 2 or 3. The reality is this here. You run it, you control it, you got 5. You run it, you control it, you can establish the curriculum. If you want more arts and band and drama and all of that, you can do it. If you want black history, you can do it. But you also have to perform. And I then said, if we can control it, I'm down with it. That's why. Steve and Julian, go.
Think about this, Roland, to stay with what your point was. Our schools are founded by black people. Our schools employ, in Connecticut, the highest percentage of black teachers in the entire state. The entire state. And in Connecticut, we're at about just south of 60% African-American, 75% of our administrators are African-American. That's in Connecticut. But in New York, over 85% of our faculty are black. And 100% of our administrators are black. We have schools founded by us, for us, in our own communities. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. We are the public. We have every right to every public dollar that everyone else does, and I dare say more so because those people who have had complete control of the dollars have made sure that there are 2 and 3 times as many white kids who can read at or above grade level than black children. Also, it's important to understand, to your point, Roland, it's not just about hiring black faculty. It's not just about determining what our curriculum is. We can hire black contractors and Latin contractors. We get to do what we wish to do. This is the epitome of liberation. This is the goal. Dr. Martin Luther King said American public schools do not know what to teach or how to teach. He also went on to say that what should happen is we should create educational parks. But I want to end this part here. One of the great misnomers in the conversation around education is we're not talking about black children in particular. What I mean by that is if you go to any cookout or any gathering of African Americans, one of the things that you're going to find are those parents who've had to go down to the school to make sure that their son was treated right, go down to the school to make sure that their daughter was allowed to get in an AP or honors class, go down to that's not the way schools work. Even when we do move to the suburbs, even when we have come up like the Jeffersons, our children are still the lowest performing children in the school. And there's a direct correlation between the percentage of African Americans who teach and run the school and the performance of African Americans in those schools. So to say that we support Black people, but we don't support the most effective model in educating African Americans in the history of the country is to call into question our true support of them, and to say that we have sold our souls to an 80% white teachers union who has made us more concerned about the frailty of the white teachers than the broken promises to the Black children.
Julian, go.
I don't have enough time to debunk what Dr. Steve has said.
Debunk what? Debunk what?
About everything. First of all, this is not about the frailty of white teachers. It's about, if you look at what teachers unions have done for Black teachers, you look at some states where Black teachers were summarily fired because they were Black. That's what unions prevented from happening. So I think we have to take the whole picture. Secondly, I don't disagree about the way that Black folks can run education, can basically deal with education, can provide education. I also do not believe that charters are the answer. I've seen too many failed charter schools run by Black people, run by other people who didn't know what the bluff they were doing.
Okay, one second. Hold up. I got to ask you. Hold on. I got to ask you. You said, I don't believe charter schools are the answer. First of all, the operative word there is the. Are charter schools... Oh, no, hold on. I'm asking you this question. Are charter schools a part of... Are a part of the answer? I didn't say, are they the answer? Are they a part of the answer?
Absolutely, Roland.
Wait, hold up. Because there's somebody right now who's confused. So here's the point that Howard Fuller always makes, of course, who's a supporter of parent choice, who supports charters, who was the superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. Howard Fuller says that what we have now is the education delivery system. What we're debating is the delivery. I said it earlier. You can have, when you say, if there's an education pie, there's a slice, that's the largest slice is traditional public. I went to traditional public and magnet. I ain't never been to private school. So you got traditional public magnet, traditional charter, homeschool, online. So here's what I don't understand, Julian. If charters are a part of the answer, then what's the problem? You're correct. When people try to make it the answer, they're not the answer. But you can have, and you should have, successful public charter schools right alongside traditional schools. Why does it have to be either or?
I don't disagree with you at all, Roland. I think there's a continuum of educational delivery, as you say, from homeschooling to privates. I mean, I got put out of so many schools, private, public, every other kind. So, you know, I've had many experiences as a kid, and they probably didn't stick. But I just don't like the notion that we think public schools are bad. Public schools hinge on parental involvement. When parents are involved, we get a better result.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, Susan. I'm sorry, Julian. This is where. See, again, though, this is. Okay, you're right, but so do charter schools, and so do private, and so do magnet. And so here's the deal. Okay, Jalen is sitting right there. Steve is sitting right there. I guarantee you they have horrible parental involvement stories. I guarantee you. So you're right, but this is, and then when you say, well, I don't like when people say public schools are horrible. Guess what? A lot are. So why can't we take the emotion out and go, if this school district has 100 schools, how many traditional schools, how many are high performing, how many are middle performing, and how many are low performing? And then the goal should be to get the low performing schools up to middle, the middle to high, and then once the low goes to middle, get them to high. That is calling it what? So what? I don't understand though. Why then the opposition to charter if a charter school in a neighborhood? Sean Hartnett here in D.C. I interviewed him on this show. He left a traditional school where black boys were failing in science and math. He created a charter school for black boys. He took the exact same black boys that were failing in the traditional school down the street. They came to his charter school, and now they're passing. I'm saying, hell, yay, Sean. So I want to support Sean, and I want to fix the traditional school. But what I don't want to do is say Sean can't open that school because we don't support charters.
I don't think it's an either or. I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a continuum. I think it's a continuum from, as you say, homeschooling. I think that parents have to figure out what's right for their kid. But I think that...
What if they can't? What if they can't?
And I agree with the brother who said...
But Julian, what if they can't? Julian, what if there's a parent who went to failing schools, who is the byproduct of parents who went to failing schools? What if they can't figure that out? What do we then do?
Well, I think that we have to look at the ways that we market education to ensure that parents have the opportunity to make choices. And maybe they can't make choices, but yes, they can.
No, Julian, they can't. I'm sorry. Julian, they actually can't. We have to own up to the reality that there are parents, white, black, Hispanic, who do not know how to make those decisions. I mean, and I just got Steve and Jalen, y'all actually deal with this every day. I'm sure both of you have stories of parents that have come to your school, and to be honest, they are functionally illiterate. And you're having to now deal with them about their kids when the parent, him or her, is functionally illiterate.
So in the city of Detroit, 10% of adults have graduated from college. 10%. So that means usually the young person that graduates from 12th grade is the first person from their family, their block, their neighborhood to actually go to college. So they need that support. And a few things that keep getting said about charter schools I want to debunk. Number one, market to make choice. That's exactly what we're doing, but we're doing it for charter schools. How about this? Too many failed charter schools. Yes, they're failed charter schools, but it's been failed traditional public schools since the beginning of time, eons of them. That's what made charter schools become an option in Michigan the last 30 years. Also, parental involvement. Yes, you have those parents who aren't as involved as you want them to be, but you know one of the things I'm able to create with the charter school, an intimate family destination for our young people where we can get to know the parents, we can get to know the families, we can get to know the students intimately inside and outside of the building, so therefore we can nurture them as young people. And also, when you're the founder of a charter school, which is why I'll probably be the last former athlete to even be in position to do something like this, because the mountain of paperwork is so high and the bureaucracy is so large, you get zero state funding for your facility. Zero state funding for your facility. So we call it bridging the education gap. We're talking about public education, Roland. The young person in the inner city of Detroit should get the same funds that the suburban young person is getting in Birmingham. When that's not happening, that creates an education gap that we try to close via these charter schools. And one other point, because we talked about serving our people. Our school is founded by two black men, Jalen Rose and Michael Carter. It's run by a black woman, Jasmine Allen. Our students are 100% black in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And it's almost like sports and HBCUs. The reason why athletes, for example, don't go to HBCUs is because those schools are underfunded and they don't have the facilities as the traditional white schools. And also, did everybody know that majority of HBCUs were actually founded by white people?
Steve, go ahead. So hold on a second. Steve, hold up. Steve and Julian. Steve, go ahead.
So it's super important to lean on data. When the romanticization of our experiences in traditional schools fades and we start talking in facts, what we see is just last year, according to Blacks in Higher Education, only 19% of African Americans, test takers who took the ACT, were deemed as college ready. Only 19%. That means 81% of all Black children who graduated from high school last year were not deemed college ready. By contrast, 53% of white children were deemed college ready. Again, to your point, Roland, most children go to public schools, neighborhood public schools. So they are the culprits here. They have the majority of the children, so you have to put the responsibility where it is due. Why is that the case? The overwhelming majority of teachers in traditional schools are white. The overwhelming majority of the expectations that are driven by children who look like their children, their family members, and them. That means that when people who work in schools are making the determination as to which courses they're going to put children in, when they're going to determine who deserves an AP class, who deserves an honors class, the people who they say deserve those are the ones who remind them of themselves. When they are looking to identify a child as having special needs or being violent or needing to be suspended, expelled, or in any way disciplined, it is the child who looks the least like them, the one who they have the lowest expectations for. And that is not just when we're looking at poverty, that's when we're looking at Black as Black as Black. And to continue to send our children into a system that is the root, that is the front of the school to prison pipeline is a bizarre romanticization of the system. If we wanted to look at it differently, we could go to, to Exodus and recognize that even then, after Moses, with the word from God on high, said, y'all got to come up out of these circumstances, there were people who said, nah, we going back. We going back. So long has been the story of African Americans who want to go back into the failed system because it is what we're most comfortable with. But those of us who know better and quite frankly have experienced better must be held to account to ensure that no one ever goes back into a system that is literally systematically crushing babies. I'll finish here. 18% of all children in kindergarten are Black. Yet 48% of all kindergartners, 5-year-olds who are suspended out of school are Black. The numbers just don't add up. We know that children who are suspended earliest are suspended most often. This is the root of systemic racism. We cannot shout and scream at police officers who are systemically destroying the lives of innocent African Americans without first looking at children who are being educated in that same system to believe that there's something inherently wrong with Black children. We can do better. You are looking at 2 Black men who have started schools in our communities. Don't look past that. Don't let this notion of sacrificing the teachers' union make you look past the obvious. And if we're going to go in a real conversation about what the teachers' union did in New York with the United Federation of Teachers, there was a group called the African American Teachers Association who refused to join that group because of the racism inherent in that. Dr. Martin Luther King himself had to inject himself into that situation. And if the white teachers union cares so damn much about Black people, why is it that so few Black people are teaching? Don't let them fool you. They're doing wrong to us, and they know they're doing wrong. And all they need is a couple really smart Black people to convince us to go back into slavery. And I ain't going to be one of them.
All right, Julian, go. Enjoy. And I'm going to let me know if y'all want to jump in here. But Julian, go. Yes. And I'm going to take this for 5 more minutes. We're way over time. But Julian, go.
Well, first of all, ain't nobody trying to go back into enslavement, Dr. Perry. And I think you know that, GD, well. You know me better than that. And so I reject that whole conversation. What I would say is that teachers' unions are not perfect. and neither are charter schools. And I'm not trying to set up an either or. I want to see the continuum. I want to see continuum. And we started this conversation by talking about what we wanted to hear at the debate between the Orange Man and Vice President Harris around education. And I think that there are things, the Orange Man would basically eliminate the Department of Education, which means eliminating Title I schools. And whatever flaws there are, Title I schools do trickle dollars down to poor children. So I don't think that, I hope that neither of you would suggest that we would eliminate the Department of Education. Secondly, when we look at education, there are some issues. There are issues with the teachers unions, but there are also issues with many charter schools. I mean, I've audited 2 that were abysmal failures, and they just didn't follow the rules.
But Julian, two doesn't mean many. First of all, okay, when you I'm sorry, when we say many, okay, give me a number. I don't like, let me just real clear. I don't like
to do 2. I did them. They were both abysmal failures.
Okay, all right. So you did 2 that were abysmal. But how did you arrive at many or bad?
I'm looking at the data.
Where? What? Which data? Which data?
I don't have it in front of me, Roland, but I could,
Absolutely. I want to see it. I mean, I want to see it. Go ahead.
I'll send it to you. But there were charter schools are some of them are excellent. Amazingly excellent, because they have probably the hands-on that Jalen is talking about. Some of them are not.
Yes, which is what I said earlier. And some of them you got transportation issues. Some of them you got special education issues. Some of them where they suspend the student, send them back, but keep the money. All of that is absolutely true. I still don't believe, though, that we need to set this up as a either or. It's an and conversation.
But that's what I said up front. I said we should not have a juxtaposition or this or that. We have to have a continuum of educational delivery. And like I said, some people want to do homeschooling. Some people, there's a continuum.
Well, and in fact, the largest growth in homeschooling in America, African-American parents. Joy, go.
Yes. So, and the reason they're doing that is because they're afraid of traditional schools. I mean, that's why they want to do homeschooling. Look, it sounds like we all agree that there is a pie and there has to be a range of options in that pie. And we want to give Black people options. We have been robbed of options and told that we can't even explore options because somehow it's an affront to traditional schools and, frankly, to teachers, some of whom are in our family. But ultimately, I don't care about teachers. I care about students. And, frankly, it's about, what's the end product here? We have a failed system. If our students are not succeeding, we have to do something different. What we've been doing in the past is not working, and we know it is based in slavery. We know it is based in racism. We know it is based in misogyny. So we know we have to disrupt it. So I applaud you, gentlemen. The only thing I will say is there was a comment made here by HBCUs. I think it was Jalen. Well, I don't understand your point. I hope that you are not discouraging attendance at HBCUs.
No, that's not. Hold up. No, that's not what he said. What Jalen, everybody breathe. The point that Jalen was making is that people, if you're going to complain about charter schools being founded by white folks, even racist white folks, it's some white folks that founded HBCUs. That's the problem when people start throwing stuff out. So the reality is there are white folks that have created, what's the dude who was the founder of Sears and Roebuck, Julius Rosenwald? He created Rosenwald schools all across the country that Black kids went to. The problem is when people sit here and start throwing stuff out. This is why we got to strip away awful, this, that, and the other, and call it what it is. Call out things that are good, call out things that are bad, replicate things that are going well, get rid of things that are failing. Congo, you got any part of this? You got anything?
I just want to say that I want to commend these two brothers for what they're doing. As somebody who works in schools and DEI issues, public, private, and charter schools, as somebody who speaks to kids across the country and parents, And look, as somebody who has kids in private schools now, like both of these brothers are saying, I've seen the entire range. In every school I go to, there are differences. And I just want to applaud these two brothers for the work, the continual work that they're doing. It's not a fad for them. It's not about enriching pockets. It's about improving the lives of our community. And before all of the headlines, these brothers have been about it. And so we can have all these conversations we need. But it's like Dr. Malvo said about the continuum, like Dr. Perry said, like Mr. Rose said, the continuum, like you've been doing all of these years, Roland Martin, with school choice as a Black choice. We're trying to create the systems that work best for our children. So let's continue to have the conversation, celebrate our wins, and continue how we can work to build a community where our kids can be celebrated and not tolerated.
So we'll see if tomorrow education, and specifically charters and school choice and whatever becomes an issue in the debate, we'll see if it gets asked, we'll see if it gets answered. Jaylene Rose, Dr. Steve Perry, we appreciate y'all joining us on the show. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Folks, real quick, let me get this here. Racist Republicans, what they are doing, folks, in Springfield, Ohio is shameful. Joy, Julian, and Omakongard, I don't know if y'all saw this. Y'all roll this video of this idiot JD Vance. Y'all have the video where he is promoting this racist lie that Haitian immigrants are eating pets and causing mayhem in Springfield. Is it Springfield, Ohio? Yeah, okay, roll this.
Chairman Brown, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit a letter for the record from the city of Springfield and our state, the southwestern part of our state, which I think highlights a very real example of this particular concern, straight from the horse's mouth itself. Now, this letter, I want to quote from it. Springfield has seen a surge in population through immigration that has significantly impacted our ability as a community to produce enough housing opportunities for all. Springfield's Haitian population has increased 15 to 20,000 over the last 4 years in a community of under 60,000 previous residents, putting a significant strain on our resources and ability to provide ample housing for all of our residents. And end quote there. And Mike.
No objection. So
thank you. In my conversations with folks in Springfield, it's not just housing. They're trying to build 5,000 new housing units, which is a very Herculean task in a town of about 55,000 people. But it's also hospital services, it's school services, there are a whole host of ways in which this immigration problem, I think, is having very real human consequences.
I wonder if it was 5,000 people from Sweden or Denmark, he would be complaining. I wonder if he was complaining if it was 5,000 white people or 20,000, whatever the number of Haitians he talked about. But this is what he put on Twitter. He actually posted this nonsense that people in Springfield, Ohio, having their pets being abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. This is literally, let me show y'all the tweet. This is the crap that these racists have been sending around all over the country. Give me one second. Okay, first I'll pull the tweet up. So y'all pull the tweet up. So this is the tweet right here. And the Springfield Police Division issued a statement saying they're aware of the rumors. Go to my iPad. They had no information to support them. In response to recent rumors alleging criminal activity by the immigrant population in our city, we wish to clarify that there have been no credible reports or specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. And additionally, there have been no verified instances of immigrants engaging in illegal activities such as squatting or littering in front of residents' homes. Furthermore, no reports have been made regarding members of the immigrant community deliberately disrupting traffic. Now, watch this. After NBC asked the Vance campaign about the lack of evidence for his claim, a spokesperson said that the center had received, quote, a high volume of calls and emails over the past several weeks from concerned citizens in Springfield, and that is, quote, his tweet is based on what he is hearing from them. Yeah, if they're being fed bullshit conspiracies, yeah, they're gonna call you dumbass. And then, of course, me being a native Texan, I got one of the dumbest damn senators in all of the United States. So Ted dumbass Cruz, he sat here and put out yet idiots like Charlie Kirk posting this crap, Jim Jordan, others. And so here's dumbass Ted Cruz. Please vote for Trump so Haitian immigrants don't eat us. He wrote this on Twitter as a caption of a photo of cats. This, Joy, is what these racist MAGA Republicans are doing. Then they're sitting here maligning Haitian immigrants because they don't want black people in Springfield, Ohio.
That is correct. They are racist. If you are a Haitian citizen, please listen to this. Do not vote for these people. We know that there have been departures with the Democratic Party and concerns that I'm speaking specifically of the Haitian population in Florida. Please do not vote for Republicans. They do not respect you. They will at any moment turn on you, make up lies about you, and then spread them from state to state. Do not vote for these people. And if you are Donald Trump, my God, what a terrible, weird choice you made in JD Vance. He is the gift that keeps on giving to the Harris and Walz campaign. I cannot wait for the vice presidential debate. He's just plain weird.
Look at this crap here on McCongo. Go to my iPad. Vance also asserted without evidence that the Haitian population in question is made up of illegal immigrants. A Springfield City website says, not true. Haitian immigrants are here legally under the Immigration Parole Program, referring to a federal humanitarian program for migrants. These people are racist. I guarantee you, Congo, if these were 20,000 white immigrants, there will be no complaints whatsoever.
No complaints whatsoever at all. They are gearing up for a Trump win so they can bring in basically the 1950s version, a new 2020, 24, 25 version of Operation Wetback when, they deported so many, Latino people, including many who are American citizens. You can't do something like that without dehumanizing a people first and making other Americans think that it's okay. And as somebody who's Congolese American, having to deal with all of these type of stereotypes about being barbaric and being savage all of my life from what people will see on the media and the stories, this definitely hits home. But I know as black people in this country, period, we've had to deal with that through slavery. Just look at the images and the cartoons. Roland, these guys are just conjuring up every racist image and trope possible because they have no policies to run on. So they're doing what Donald Trump did in 2016, running on the politics of fear and the fear of a black neighbor, a fear of a black relative. And African Americans, you think people ain't going to see you and think you're Haitian and be like, oh, are you eating my cats? Like, they're coming for all of us. There is no middle ground here. And so this is the time where we got to call out, like you said, the direct racism. There is no middle ground, kind of racist. Oh, this is a racist idea. No, this is straight up racism, ignorance, and hate, because this is all they have to run on. They lost abortion issues. They're losing on DEI issues because people are against that as well. So they're turning to hate and ignorance. And who is the number one target of hate crimes in this country, of ignorance and hate? It's always been black people, regardless of what happens with 9/11, regardless of what happens with Israel, Gaza, everything. We are always number one. So we got to get ready and we got to make sure that we're prepared because they're going to keep putting the target on our back because they got nothing else to go on.
And Julian, remember in the spring, oh my God, go to my iPad, there's going to be armed Haitians storming the beaches of Florida. And Ron DeSantis was putting cops on alert. Oh my God, what's going down? Unrest in Haiti. Matt Gaetz and others asking Department of Homeland Security. They're going to be storming our beaches. Never happened. They were using black people they were weaponizing black people. That's what they were doing. They were sitting here, oh my God, the Negroes are coming. The Negroes are coming. We can't have it. And so all y'all immigrants, y'all black immigrants, you African immigrants, you Jamaican immigrants, you Haitian immigrants, you Bermuda immigrants, all y'all black immigrants who I see a lot of y'all talking about Donald Trump, that man don't give a shit about y'all. And this is what these white conservative Republicans do. They can't stand you. Julian, go.
I have to take this extraordinarily personally. My maternal grandfather was Haitian. I don't often identify as Haitian American, but I am. How do you distinguish a Haitian American from a black American? I mean, we all kind of look like we all come from...
Ask ADOS and FBA, because they damn sure do, but go ahead.
Well, that's their problem. And don't get me started on that subject.
Go ahead.
But in any case, the point is that there is enormous disinformation that people have to dig down into and say, what's the truth here? What's a lie? We know that no armed Haitians were coming here. Give me a blah, blah, blah break. We know that Haitian Americans are Americans, as are Jamaican Americans, everybody you ran down. What we have to deal with here is the way that the former president has weaponized otherness, has weaponized it in so many ways that are both subtle and unsubtle. And we have to do is fight back on that. Joy is absolutely right to say, y'all, you like the man, that former man, because he's an entrepreneur and you're entrepreneurial. BS, BS, BS. What we have to do is say there are values that we hold on to. And among those values are humanism. And this crap that keeps coming down is not humane, but it's used to divide us, and too many people are going along with it. Like I said, I think about Papa Jimmy. That was my maternal grandfather who came here from Haiti on a boat back in the day. Came to New Orleans, married my grandmother, whatever. Didn't stick, but that's another story. But I think about him often, especially when I hear this anti-immigrant crap, because we're all immigrants. If you look at the triangular trade, maybe the boat stopped in Jamaica, maybe it stopped in Columbia, South Carolina, maybe it stopped someplace else, but we're connected. And so we can allow people to divide us behind this bullshit.
Well, listen, folks just need to simply understand what they're doing. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. It's no shock to us at all. And also, real quick, to all the people out there who were sitting here, including some of y'all celebrities who kept hollering about, oh, the Asians got a crime bill. We ain't had nothing for us. The Department of Justice today announced the arrest of a terrorist organization of white supremacists who were targeting a number of federal officials and others. California federal prosecutors unsealed an indictment charging 2 people with leading an online group of white supremacists that maintain a list of high-profile targets to assassinate and urging group members to commit hate crimes. A 37-page indictment filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California alleges that Dallas Aaron Humber and Matthew Robert Allison led the group known as Telegram, a network of channels, group chats, and users on the app Telegram that promote white supremacist accelerationism. Humber and Allison face 15 federal charges, including 3 counts of soliciting the murder of a federal official, 4 counts of soliciting hate crimes, and 1 count of conspiring to provide material support for terrorists. Humber is from Elk Grove, California. Allison is from Boise, Ohio. So for all the folks who were like, what's going on? Well, there you go. Also, folks, today in Memphis, jury selection began in the federal trial of 3 former Memphis police officers charged with violating the civil rights of Tyreek Nichols, the 29-year-old black man whose fatal beating was caught on police cameras, triggering protests and calls for police reform. Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith have all pled not guilty to charges that they deprived Nichols of his rights through excessive force and failure to intervene and obstructed justice through witness tampering. Nichols was pulled over in January 2023 and ran from police after he was yanked out of his car. Police videos showed officers viciously attacking Nichols when they got him out of the vehicle. Jurors will be selected from a pool of about 200 people. The trial is expected to last 3 to 4 weeks. All right, folks, don't forget tomorrow right here on the Black Star Network, we are going to have beginning at 7 p.m. We're not going to be live at 6 p.m. We're going to be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. for our coverage of the ABC News presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and that orange fool. And so just understand, we go live at 7 p.m. We're also doing this, folks, as a watch party with the Congressional Black Caucus. We're going to have members over here. Folks, we're going to have food, we're going to have a drink, we'll have our panel. It's going to be a great time. It is going to be lit. And I can tell you right now, folks, this will be the blackest debate show anywhere. We will have a number of our analysts. We're going to have folks on. We're going to have people on via Skype. You name it, we're going to be doing this thing. And so we just want y'all to understand, if y'all are looking for the best coverage, I call it the best seasoned chicken you can find. You might want to come here. Y'all, you know MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, they ain't going to do it the way we do it. So y'all need to be sharing with your friends. Tell everybody to come here to the Black Star Network because we going to bring the funk as we know how to do it. Julian, Amakongo, Joe, I appreciate y'all being on today's show. Thank you so very much. Thanks for being with us. Folks, again, Wednesday, we will have our salute, pay tribute to James Earl Jones, who passed away this morning at the age of 93. Don't forget to support the work that we do here at the Black Star Network. Folks, ain't nobody else in black-owned media doing what we're doing. Nobody. Not Black Enterprise, not Essence, not Ebony, not Urban One, not Blavity, not The Griot. Nobody is doing what we do here every single day. We are speaking to your issues with this show and the other shows on the Black Star Network the only way that we can. But your dollars are critical to our support. I'm fighting this, and I sent an email today to 5 ad agencies who have been ignoring us. I got back, they don't buy news, but I keep seeing all these ads show up on Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC, even their opinion shows. What's up with that? Send your check and money order. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. Cash App, $RM Unfiltered. PayPal, R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Download the Black Star Network app. Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. All y'all people on YouTube, hit the damn like button. We should be at 2,000 likes. What the hell y'all playing around for? Hit the like button right now before I get off the air. Support us by getting White Fear. How the Browning of America is making white folks lose their minds. Get the book at Ben Bella Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, IndieBound, Bookshop, Chapters, Books A Million, Target. Download the audio version on Audible as well. Again, tomorrow, folks, we're live, not at our normal 6 p.m. We're live at 7 p.m. tomorrow for our debate coverage right here on the Black Star Network. The ABC presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and that dumbass. Live at 8 p.m. Eastern, in addition to our watch party with the Congressional Black Caucus. Can't wait to have them in the house. Folks, we will see y'all tomorrow for the blackest debate show in America. Holla! Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch! I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?